Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. I am your host, Brian Barnaby. And let's just say the boys are back in town.
She got away, know what I say? She can't control, she don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up. Get the ammo and I stick it up. I ride with shots on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes?
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. It's Barnes, it's Tony, it's Mike.
Dude.
What's going on?
Not much, hanging loose, feeling good. It's
What a night
Tuesday,
last
dude.
night.
What a night. It's Tuesday, feels like Monday because we had a fun-ass weekend. Crazy weekend, dude. I mean,
And last night specifically.
last night specifically,
Artichoke,
for the Sports Report.
Baselli's, great time.
Oh, my
Great
God.
place, great
Just
people.
great atmosphere. Yeah, great people, dude. I mean, they were very more than welcoming us, especially after hours of the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was just so nice, and they even host us.
Oh, yeah.
They stayed late for us, dude.
Stayed late, watched the Yankees.
Right.
Obviously we'll get to it.
We'll
but,
get to
it.
it.
It was just a good atmosphere. Watch a ball game, be with some, fun people. Why
Right,
not,
dude. Have a couple of drinks, couple of slices. Ma, I miss you too.
So what a night, and a good start to today for the New York Mets. So we'll start in the world of Major League Baseball.
Giving chase at Judge, and he dives into the stand.
DeGrom begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna.
The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon. High, deep, and very gone.
All right, so for a change, this is number 3 in a row. We have to do it. We are going to start with the Mets, and today they get an exciting 6-5 victory over the Miami Marlins, and just a game that was exciting to begin with, but obviously topped by the bottom of the 9th inning, 5 runs, walking it off, Javi Baez headfirst slide into home plate, and that's just the beginning of it, and we'll bring in Tony here. What do we got? What happened today?
I mean, totally electric performance, honestly, by the Mets. Really just in the 9th inning, honestly. They score 5 in the 9th, starting off with a 2-run home run by Brandon Nimmo, kind of setting the tone for the 9th inning. Obviously, they knew they were down. They were down 5-1 at that point. So, light in the tunnel, looking kind of dim there. But Nimmo, 2-run home run, gets it started. And then from there, it was base hit by Alonso, who Baez came in next. Alonso came in. No. I don't know who came in, honestly. Bazzi, dude. Love Baez. Baez continues momentum.
Got hit by a pitch to come in and then came up again in the 9th. And
gets a single.
Fielder's choice.
Yeah, dude.
So it's just funny. Doesn't really do anything, but has the dramatic headfirst slide.
Yeah, dude.
Today, after getting booed.
Right, exactly. It was 2 outs at that point. Baez, ground ball to the shortstop, I believe it was, of the Marlins. And at that point, you're thinking to yourself, wow, that's the game. They're going to leave 2 men stranded.
Yeah, here we go.
Here we
Tony
go,
knows his feelings.
dude.
Yep.
God damn it. But he runs it out, beats out the shortstop. And then from there, it was Conforto was up, dude. You talk about destined to do something great. Conforto has been struggling pretty much this whole season. He seemed especially frustrated today. I think it was the 7th or the 8th inning where it was 2 men on, 2 outs, pops up to the infield. Absolutely livid, goes to the dugout, smashes his bat, throwing helmets, just totally angry, disappointed himself. Gets the chance to redeem himself in the 9th. I think it was the first pitch of the at-bat, I believe, too. Just inside out, hits the gap between the shift. And left fielder for the Marlins just kind of bobbles the ball. Again, I mean, they would have tied the game up at that point, but he bobbles the ball in the outfield. Baez, obviously, being a great base runner, an aggressive base runner at that as well. He sees that rounding second, does not stop at third, not even a hesitation. Laser dart throw by the outfielder. Wasn't really in time though. Baez beat it with the head first slide, and that's your walk off right there. Dude.
When he was rounding third and the throws coming in, just before it happened, right before, were you thinking he's gonna get gunned out or no?
Me, and I'm pretty sure with everyone else watching, because even the ump was like sitting there, like ready to be like, you're out,
call
dude.
him out.
Because the outfielder, he was in shallow left field at that point, picking up the ball. It wasn't a tough throw for him. He threw the ball maybe a little bit too much to the right of the catcher. Catcher hit his glove, in and out of the glove. Like I said, umpire was there ready to call him out, but he beat the tag, and it was great. Boom.
Now, Baez, like we talked about, got booed, scored the winning run. Do you think, with the short amount of time left in the season, he can turn it around with them, or do you think it's just not enough time and he's going to hear it the rest of the season?
No, I think in terms of like how the fans are going to react to him. Look, I mean today, you saw that the fans get behind him. They were giving them thumbs up after the game. Which it was tough. I forget who hit the home run for the Marlins, but he hits the Rojas, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe it's Rojas. But anyway, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was Rojas on a single RBI single in the second inning. On first base, gives the both thumbs down to the whole stadium. So from there you're thinking like, holy shit, dude, we're gonna be hearing this the rest of the season. There's going to be, other teams will be mocking us and whatnot. But, I mean, again, you saw the fans kind of rally behind the team, specifically Baez and Lindor. They had good games. And, it's tough. I mean, like in any relationship, dude, I mean, this is a relationship, obviously, between the fans and the players. There are going to be ups and downs. There's going to be frustrations and stuff like that. But, it's just important to know that, the team, obviously, today they came out and apologized for the whole thumbs down thing. But, obviously the players are frustrated. The fans are frustrated, especially with the season the Mets have been having. And, shit like this is going to be brought up. But the important thing is just kind of move on from it, which, I mean, I think that this kind of rally win today in the ninth inning is a kind of great step to move on.
It's half of a step because Stephen Wayne. Can I ask a question?
Absolutely, dude. Ask away, man.
But Tony, like I was going to say, job is not done. So this was a resumption of a game earlier this season. So now
April 11th, I believe.
April 11th. So now it's technically a doubleheader. Second game, only 7 innings, and it's Trevor Williams versus Edward Cabrera. 7-inning game, second game of a doubleheader. I mean, kind of a spot where the Mets haven't done great this year. So, right. I mean, what do you think it's going to take for them to get this second one to sweep the doubleheader?
Well, I'll tell you right now, it's going to start with Trevor Williams for sure. I think the fact that is a 7-inning game will work in his favor. I think his last start was actually against Washington earlier this month. On the 12th, he went 4 1/3. Only gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run. Not terrible. So, I would like to see him, that type of distance in a 7-inning game obviously means more. 4 or 5 innings out of him would be great. But I think he showed a little promise as a Met. Him coming over from Chicago, I mean, he really isn't that great of a pitcher. I didn't really expect much out of him, but seeing him come in relief out of the bullpen and that start that he had, he has pretty good stuff. I mean, he relies heavily on his fastball. He mixes in that slider and sinker to kind of cause some ground outs and stuff like that. So I think he has good stuff. I think I'm not sure how fast his fastball clocks in. I think it's like 95, honestly. From what I remember correctly. So, it's not terrible stuff. And again, the Marlins are a team that have been just like the Mets, very inconsistent offensively. So, I mean, you hope he can kind of take advantage of that. And again, with it being a 7-inning game, I think the length we will get out of him will kind of help us.
But who we can't overlook in this matchup? Edward Cabrera, 23 years old, rookie, struck out 92 in 61 innings at AAA in the minors this season. So, he had one start, 6 1/3 innings pitched. A guy that you can strike people out in AAA. You'd think the stuff would translate. We know the Mets, have struggled in these situations at times. I mean, does that worry you at all? Can you see, Baez swinging through some, balls or high
Definitely.
strikes?
He's another pitcher. He mixes in his fastball, changeup very well. He throws his fastball 38% of the time, changeup 31%. So, I think it's kind of important to maybe sit back a little bit and wait for that changeup. Yeah. Hopefully, if you kind of sit on that changeup, hopefully he throws it somewhere in the strike zone that is hittable. And again, just patience at the plate for the Mets, for their lineup at this point, I think is what's going to be key to kind of breaking down Edward Cabrera.
So, you pretty much said it, but what's your prediction for the game?
I'm going to say they win 5-3.
5-3.
5-3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michael, what do you think? You think they get the second game?
Yeah.
What's the score?
8-4.
Nice, dude.
4. Okay.
Baez is going yard, 2-run homer. And Alonso home run as well. Lindor flashing the glove on the defense, dude. We have some momentum coming in here, man, and you can tell the players are trying to fight here.
I think they're trying to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Marlins less,
what are they playing for?
Team,
yeah, less talented for sure.
But sometimes what are you playing for? You step up, and I just think Edward Cabrera is going to be the difference in this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 3-1 Marlins. Williams trouble early, go to the pen, and just no offense in a game that we've seen them play other times this year.
Yeah, especially during doubleheaders. We see them splitting doubleheaders all the time. I don't think they've had a doubleheader like this where it's 1 9-inning game, 1 7-inning game though. Kind of weird, honestly, that they have that rule.
Yeah, I haven't seen that happen since they implemented the 7-inning rule at all. So
very weird.
And I also like to give special shout out. Chokery just texted me watching the show, so obviously, appreciate him tuning in.
Of course,
and he's a big NFL fan, the Steelers, so NFL around the corner.
Big
Likes
Ben.
the Yankees as well.
Of course,
good taste. So
don't need him.
He's pumped. Obviously, we're going to cover some Steelers football sooner than later. So we'll see what happens with the Mets. Obviously, it would be nice to continue the winning streak, run it up to 4.
Let's go,
Never know where you can go
turn
from
it
there.
around. The Braves lost to the Dodgers last night.
Yes.
Let's gain some games on them, dude. It's not over.
It's not
over.
quite over. It would be a run. It would be a ridiculous
run.
And I'd love to see them, give it a shot.
There we go.
Guys.
Right there, right on cue. What more can you say?
Let's go bowling, I think. We really are overdue, though.
Way overdue. When's the first week of NFL?
First week of NFL.
Next weekend.
Week
from Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, week from Sunday, yes.
All right. We can get a couple games in before then.
Yeah.
And
dude. You got the Thursday night opener, Cowboys Bucks. Would you be surprised though if the Bucks,
lost it?
Blew them out. Honestly,
blew them out. No.
I'm just saying because the Cowboys, Prescott, the injury.
Yeah, no, I would expect them to. Honestly,
yeah, I honestly would too. But NFL around the corner, can't wait. So on to the Yankees.
Oh boy,
8-7 loss. Corey Kluber's return last night. Obviously we were watching the game during the show last night, and it's just a shame because I mentioned this last night. Kluber really pitched well, and it's just that one mistake, giving up the grand slam, and that was it. He had 6 strikeouts. At that point he had 3 2/3 innings pitched, and really didn't get into too much trouble. Just loaded the bases. You make a mistake, hang a breaking ball, so kind of ruined a debut that was otherwise pretty solid.
Yeah, dude. It's tough. He pitched well until he didn't, right? But his pitch count was looking good going into the game. He was looking good. He was throwing a lot of first pitch strikes off out of the gate, which I think kind of hurt him into that 4th inning because I think he struck out Ohtani in the 3rd, or maybe even was the 4th. Looking. And I think at that point that the Angels kind of said to themselves like, wow, he's throwing a lot of first pitch strikes. And before, as he was loading the bases, I'm pretty sure they were all off of the first pitches because they knew he's throwing a first pitch strike. So at that point, Kluber has to kind of realize that make that adjustment.
I mean, you'd think a veteran,
Right,
would know
would
that
pick
type of
up on the
thing. Yeah.
pitchers are waiting on that first pitch strike there. So I mean, that's kind of something I would have liked to see him have done differently. But again, I don't think it was bad as far as Boone's decision to keep him in. Again, you can talk about hindsight 2020. Monday morning quarterbacking, whatever you want to call it. He wanted to see what Kluber could do. I would have expected Kluber to get out of that inning, honestly. I really would have.
It kind of felt like it too.
Yeah, it did.
He got the 2 outs.
But some factors maybe point to not. I mean, he had that deep fly out, right? I think for the first out.
Right.
And then he walked. I forget who he walked, but he walked. Was it Fletcher? No. Stassi. He walked Stassi. In a tough battle for him though. But he walks him, and at that point, I personally probably would have taken. And no one was even in the bullpen warming up.
Yeah.
That was very weird. But again, even with that, even with giving up the grand slam, the Yankees had the run support for him. I would say Boone's biggest mistake last night was following Kluber with Andrew Heaney.
Giving up a home run to his first batter,
Shohei
Ohtani. I mean, unbelievable. Everybody's calling for it out on Twitter. And I just think, honestly, at this point, the Yankees' hands are tied. They almost have to do it, especially with September call-outs coming up. It's just you can't justify having him on the roster. And it's he had the great Boston start, but that's all he did. Other than that, it's been a complete and utter disaster.
Mm-hmm. He's given up so many home runs, Barnes.
It's always a home run.
Oh.
So it's just brutal to see, obviously, doing that. So, that kind of really came back to bite. I mean, you had Clay Holmes, give up that single there, inheriting the run from Wandy Peralta in the 8th. And then, they went down 1-2-3 in the top of the 9th. I mean, really a tough one. And I hate the games where they scored plenty.
Right.
And it's just gave up too many, especially to the Angels. And especially when you had some good games by some of your best players. Stanton, another home run, his 25th. Judge, another 2 hits. Rizzo, 2 hits, narrowly missing a home run.
Right.
Ended up with the double. And then DJ LeMahieu, 2 for 5. It just other than that, didn't get really too much help from the other guys. But 7 runs should be enough, and especially when you're going against the Angels.
I know.
Obviously down some guys, you wouldn't expect your pitchers to give up 7 runs. I mean, granted, the bullpen, 5 innings, 2 earned isn't terrible. It's just that one pitch, the grand slam by Jack Mayfield, that just does in the Yankees here. And it's tough because it just feels like one you should have had. It's your 3rd straight loss. Now, more pressure on you tonight.
Right.
Still 2 games left of a road trip. Everybody wants to get back home. So a little tough, especially with the Rays keep winning. Obviously, it's nice that they played the Red Sox, but just now it's okay, tonight we got to win. I mean 4 straight.
These are games you cannot afford to lose, honestly. I mean, you're trying to, at this point, I don't know how well first place in the AL East is looking for them. It's funny, actually. I heard Michael Kay talk about this on the radio, and I really didn't even realize this. But as the Yankees are having this tear, Tampa Bay are pretty much matching them. So it's although you're having this tear, you're in the first wild card spot, but Tampa Bay is matching these wins that you're having. So it's tough as the end of the season is approaching. And now you lose 3 in a row. They lost 2 to Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Oakland's a good team for sure, but I mean that last night's game against the A's, you have to take those games against a team like the A's. You have to take those games. So that again, I mean, I've been saying it since the All-Star break, since the trade deadline. Their margin for error is slim to none, and it's getting even tighter now with these types of losses.
Yeah. The good thing is, you have these 2 games with the Angels, then you have an off day, and then 3-game home series with Baltimore. So it'd be nice, maybe win these last 2 games.
Oh, yeah.
You possibly sweep Baltimore. There's 5 in a row. You make up for, what you just did. But, before we get there, we have to get to tonight.
Right.
9:38 on yes. Tyone versus Berea. You look at Tyone. He hasn't reached the 6th inning in each of his last 3 starts. Kind of been hit and miss. But overall, obviously, so solid this year. So you'd expect him to bounce back. But it's just you're going up against Berea. I mean, he's got a 5.56 ERA this season. So you feel like the Yankees should be able to put up some runs, especially if they do early, that it would kind of relax Tyone and that you could get, quality start in 6 innings out of him.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I mean, I think the Yankees should have no issues with run support today. And honestly, I don't think Tyone should really have much of an issue either. I feel like, as long as he doesn't make many mistakes with leaving, a breaking ball in the middle of the plate, I think he should be totally fine with his pitches. I think he would be going 6 innings tonight, 8 Ks, maybe 2 earned runs.
Yeah,
that's tonight, dude.
I mean, that's what you'd think. And how, like you said, he's struggled with that breaking ball. Like, do you think it's as simple as, especially like the starts more so earlier in the season, where he wouldn't have given up so many runs if he had just been led with his fastball more and kind of didn't go so much to the breaking ball, or no?
No, yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he needs to mix in his fastball more. Maybe tonight, try what Kluber did. Try to throw, first pitch strike fastball. Kind of feel how the Yankees are going to be playing it, and then adjust accordingly.
Yeah. But I honestly expect him to bounce back, and I just always feel good about a pitcher, really, unless it's Andrew Heaney, when the offense is flowing, and that's what's happening right now. And it's just like, it's crazy. They've been teammates since 2018. I mean, I don't remember a time really that you could ever say Stanton and Judge were both red hot, and I think this is what we've been waiting for a long time. Obviously, injuries played a big part in that, but also this season. I mean, with Stanton struggling and Judge being solid, but not like the crazy runs that we're used to. So just to see that, I mean, it's just every time they're up, it seems like they're doing something productive.
Yeah, and not even in terms of the long ball. I mean, I feel like Stanton, especially, it's a lot of singles now, plays with contact. And like you mentioned, we haven't seen a lot. The Yankees in general have been very streaky, I feel. And then, when they are streaky, it's either Judge is hot or Stanton is hot. Never really both at the same time. And that's what we're seeing now. That's why, like I said, I've nothing but all the confidence in the world in the amount of run support they should be getting tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's really not even a question. It's nice to see Rizzo. I mean, he was in a little bit of a slump. But I guess we had seen that with the Cubs, that he can kind of get into that. But I guess it's one of those things, just like Stanton, that you just can't explain when things don't go right. But I just think it's funny, as much as the heat of everyone basically saying Stanton, he strikes out on the slider alone every time. He sucks. Up until this hot streak, the average person would have no idea that he's hitting almost 270, or he might even have eclipsed that last night. You'd think he was a 220 hitter the way people talk about it.
Yeah, really. It's true. I think he does get a bad rap. I mean, again, it's tough because you see him with again being really streaky, and just like you with
271, by the way.
271 now.
271 these day and age is about 290.
Yeah, honestly, no, you're right, and like I was saying, I feel like because he's been streaky, just like you in terms of relievers and closers, they tend to kind of remember specifically the times where he wasn't doing well. So that's all they kind of think about, kind of not realizing that he's been sneakily good here this season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's really turned it on. And after, not hitting a home run for so long, it's crazy that, I mean, really, there's a month left. I mean, he could get, almost mid-30s in home runs if he really has a good September.
What is he at now?
25.
25?
I mean, he had, 16, not even a month ago, it felt like.
Yeah, he can get 10 more.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen people run into a couple September, and it would just be so crazy if, and then he just rides this out rest of the season, playoffs included. After it would make so much sense after having to go through so much since 2018, since coming over for the Marlins.
Yeah, me included. I was telling, earlier this season, Mike and I harping on about how much he sucks, doesn't play the field, strikes out all the time. Now what's he doing? He's playing the field, dude.
I mean, now do you think living legend you?
Oh no, not yet.
I mean, his track record though pretty impressive. I think he's second of active or third of active players. I think probably right behind Nelson Cruz in home runs. So
we'll see, dude. Let's see what happens in the playoffs.
Yeah, with the fans.
I mean, I don't think the fans are.
Yes, they do.
I don't know.
He doesn't perform.
It doesn't perform, but it's especially at home, the fans are going to be going nuts when he's hitting dingers.
If
and
he
did perform
if,
last year, that was insane. That was ridiculous. Home run every time in the playoffs.
All right, but we'll see
no
this
one was
year,
there.
Dude. Yeah, I wasn't there. Were you there last year?
No fans were there.
Yeah.
No
I know a guy.
All right.
But back to this game. I mean, I think really, all signs would point to the Yankees winning, especially after a disappointing loss last night to an Angels team that isn't even in contention. So I want to say, the offense looks good, so let's call it 7-3. Tyone, 6 innings, 2 earns. Maybe we can get Chapman out there for the save. Just give him a nice clean inning, keep the confidence up. But I think that's all we got.
Yeah, dude. I think Rays are playing Boston tonight, right? They're the series against Boston.
Yes.
Who are you rooting for, dude?
I mean, definitely. That's so tough. I mean, you have to say the Rays.
You have to.
But it's nice to have the distance between Boston. You want to make sure if you have to be the wild card game, you host it. And really,
right, exactly.
You'd love to play Oakland in the wild card game instead of Boston.
No, yeah, that's true. But and even so, I don't know. At this point, I'm really thinking Boston, New York for the wild card.
Yeah, which is going to be crazy. And like I said, though, it just sucks. Like if Cole lines up and then you can't pitch till game 3 or 4 of the division series, that's tough.
Yeah, that is tough. But I mean, at that point, dude, I really don't think first place is coming to the Yankees.
I mean, well, you think they'd have to sweep the final series.
Right.
So that's 3 games.
And then
right now,
at this
6
point,
or 7?
7.
It is 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to make up 4 games in less than a month,
Mm-hmm.
and then have. I mean, it's
So then at that point, you're hoping Boston sweeps here.
yeah. I mean, that's what you need. But then if you do your job and you are playing the
Right.
Angels, you're playing Baltimore after. I mean,
It's tricky though. It's tricky. What if Boston sweeps, Yankees don't do their job, find themselves in a wild card spot at Fenway? You don't want to play Boston at Fenway, dude.
Michael, would you not call this a blip on the radar?
Yeah. No, you need this. You want it now rather than later.
Yeah.
This is fine tuning the sword.
You don't want it at all, dude.
This is fine tuning.
Don't want it at
this
all.
is sharpening the
They
sword.
don't have any room for error.
Sharpening the sword. You know about daggers.
I knew it.
Dude,
I knew it, dude.
What gets me, and I know that it's just like a lot of people do this, so it's just common. But I feel like I see the Yankees, like I saw Voit pinch hit last night, strikeout looking, and I just I hate that on a 2-strike approach.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't read the pitch, they're just gonna take it. I don't like.
I mean, what would I don't know. I mean, yeah, striking out looking is definitely.
And it's not like
worse,
it was a bad call, though. That's the thing. What it moved a lot, but it's gotta be protecting.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Again, I mean you're down 0-2, but I mean you don't want to swing at something crazy. And obviously he's sitting on.
Well, we've seen him swinging crazy things before.
But you're thinking 0-2
Fastball up, probably. He could make a mistake, leave it lower in the zone.
I don't know. Honestly, 0-2. I'm thinking he's going to pitch around a little bit. Want me to swing at something?
Curve in the
Throw
dirt.
the curve in the dirt, dude.
You're guessing. You're not seeing.
Exactly.
And I just feel like crucial situation, tough to go down looking. It really is. At
it
least,
is.
Like Judge, I feel like he doesn't really go down looking that much. It's usually
swinging. Yeah.
So at least you like that he's going out swinging. But like I said, favorable stretch somewhat coming up the rest of the way. I mean, you have your last series with Tampa, the series against the Mets, you play the Red Sox. So I mean, you do have some games with those teams, but you also play the Orioles twice. So you feel pretty good, but it's got to start tonight. It's got to start with getting a good pitching performance out of Jameson Tyone. And I think the rest takes care of itself because it's I know it's just too easy to say, but a lot of times, the Yankees, these high scoring games, they don't win. And the games that they win are the ones that they pitch well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're totally right.
Majority.
And like we said tonight, I expect them to score a lot of runs. Pitching is what's going to decide this game.
It's just they make it seem so easy when they hit, though. Just because we saw them so many times this year not do it. So
make it seem so easy, Mike.
Yeah, but it is the Angels. So blowout win, Michael.
10-2.
10-2. Let's go. Let's get another winning streak, and let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Sure. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get a Yankees Mets. I mean, that would be 3 wins in one day, a record for the show. That happens, right? Because I don't think they've had a doubleheader on the same day.
No, I think you're right.
Year, so.
Let alone win both of them.
But let's switch gears here a little. NBA, NFL, and let's start with the big news of the day.
Hey,
Cam Newton released this morning. Mac Jones named the starter. We were just talking about this, how they're going to work it when Jones is going to come in, and no one expected Newton to be release, and especially they thought he was going to start the first game.
Yeah, Mike thought he was going to have a huge bounce back year.
Michael
Good.
So that maybe no less than 12 hours ago.
No, it wasn't 12 hours ago.
20, maybe, I don't know, 20 hours ago.
No. It was probably like 8.
But I mean, it just like I guess it's one of those things. Like yes, like Belichick would do it, but it just seems
I don't know. Release
rookie
him.
quarterback. Brian Hoyer's your other option.
He's the next Tom Brady.
Still have Stidham.
But at this point, dude, you're putting all your chips to Mac Jones.
He's got
and if it doesn't work out, you'll get a total douche.
He's got
You
this.
spent all that money this offseason for what?
Exactly,
You got a
dude.
kid beat up if that's what
No,
happens.
watch.
With the offensive line. I mean, obviously that's going to be important, but I honestly just don't see it working out. I think Belichick, to his own fault with his relationship with Nick Saban in Alabama, is just like extra high on this guy when he was never this like generational talent. You know what I mean? He was always solid. He filled in for Tua. Last year, of course, the season was pretty good, but that was one season. When did we ever see that before?
You can say
Literally
that
never,
about Zach,
dude.
though. Wilson.
Yeah, but Zach's a generational talent.
Oh, right, dude. I mean, the only thing you have to show for Mac Jones pretty much at this point is his preseason performances.
And he's been
but-
dominating.
He's been very good, dude.
Yeah, so you'd expect him to have the same dominant success against first stringers, against 300-pound guys that run 4.40s. Come on, Tony.
He's Tom Brady.
I wasn't saying that. I'm just pointing out. I'm just making observations here, bud. All right, don't come at me. I think it's a 50-50 shot, honestly.
I want to hear your season prediction, Mac Jones. How's it work out? How many wins? Like, what do you think happens here?
Honestly, dude, I mean, I like to be positive about
Okay.
it. I would like to think he comes out firing from the preseason. The momentum is in his favor. I mean, at this point, I would imagine he's super hyped to be named starting quarterback, right? You would assume so.
Yeah.
Again,
You know what's an interesting stat?
oh, what are you
Patriots
going to be
obviously
with?
want to get back to the Super Bowl.
Obviously.
0 rookie quarterbacks have ever won the Super Bowl.
So you could say he's even more motivated to break that stat, dude.
history, everyone's
Make
proud.
history.
Also known as not gonna happen. I just think they're gonna be a 500 team this year. Honestly, I really do. And I know technically impossible with the 17th game, but you know what I mean. 9-8, 8-9, and we know that's what's gonna happen.
I was thinking like 10 wins.
10 wins.
10-7? Sounds good, dude.
Michael, what do you think about the Patriots this
Honestly.
year?
I think Mac Jones is going to be good. I'm worried.
About
Him being good.
You're worried about Mac Jones being good.
Yeah. I think he'll be like Tom Brady, maybe.
Who do you think is going to be better? Push comes to shove. His former college teammate Tua Tagovailoa.
No, him. Mac
Tua
Jones.
Tagovailoa.
That was really good.
Who do you think is going to be better?
Mac
Tony?
Jones. I think Mac
Really?
Jones. Yeah.
It's crazy though. Like I just tend to just because of the whole lefty thing. I mean, you look around the league. There's no successful lefty quarterbacks. I mean, what was the last great one?
Vic.
Young. Vic didn't have the passing consistency that like these all-time greats have.
You hear that,
Throwing
Mike?
the ball on the right side. It's true. He did not. I loved Vic. I loved the moments that he had, but it was very short-lived. Obviously, prison sentence, big part of it. But the other years, though, he didn't. You
I'm
never
sorry.
looked at him and said he was one of the best passers in the National Football League, and you know that's true.
No, yeah. I mean, obviously, you'll
Struggled
get
with
Vic,
accuracy.
probably his most appealing thing was his running, I mean,
Right,
he was a great
right.
runner. He was great out of the pocket, on the move and stuff. I mean, he had good passes, obviously, but dude, Mac Jones.
This
Come
is
on.
Michael King.
No, it's not, dude.
Yes,
This is
it
me hopping on the
is.
train now so that when he's successful in the middle of the season, you're like, hopping on the train. No. I'm saying it right now, dude. Mac Jones is going to be successful.
Mac
Very
Jones
successful.
has a chance to be like Andy Dalton, which, is winning records, playoff appearances. But first year, I expect him to struggle, maybe have his moments. 7 wins at most for this Patriots team.
At most
All
now,
that
it was
money
9 2 seconds ago.
down the drain, Tony. 7-10. All right. So just remember that when the NFL starts. Okay. That's all I'm asking for. And then, you look at the New York Jets working out former 3rd overall pick Deion Jordan, couple sacks last season when he came back. I mean, I love doing this type of thing. Former 3rd overall pick, I think it was in 2013, so obviously he's been around a while, but I love when teams do this because occasionally, I mean, you'll hit a diamond in the rough with a guy who was picked high. Obviously, people saw something Sometimes you never know.
Obviously.
Certain situations, that's something could come out for one season. No?
Who picked him?
The Eagles. Chip Kelly was a coach out of Oregon because he coached them there.
Oregon
Just like everyone says, the Jacksonville
Jaguars.
I mean, you kind of said wires.
Someone said Jaguars to us the other day. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Tell me you haven't heard it on the radio, though, like on 98.7. Michael, I know
so.
you can
Yes.
attest to this. People say wires, Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Is it, though?
Wouldn't Jaguar be like U-I-E-R, like McGuire? Jaguar? Jaguar.
I guess.
Right? Am I wrong here?
Possibly. But Michael, I can't believe that we are finally almost there. Almost, I mean, I guess you could say a week and a half away from Zach Wilson making his debut, going up against Darnold. I mean, I just feel like that's such an exciting game to start.
It's over. 42-3.
But I'm like so excited. I just feel like I don't remember a situation ever like this with a pick, a high draft pick. You traded him away. You drafted someone high, and you were playing them first game. I really don't remember ever since I've been watching the NFL that we've had a matchup like that.
I can't think of one. I'm trying to think back to the 60s.
Would you say this is organic?
Yeah. All right. Yes, it's organic, dude. Jesus.
Well, it seems like you have already been locked out there. You don't need a Ferrell movie to do that.
Oh, my God.
But also, last NFL thing, Dolphins coach Brian Flores won't comment on the Deshaun Watson trade rumors.
Oh, no.
Says they are always looking for high character players. I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think they're lying? Could you see them getting them? I mean, I don't think they're sold on to it.
Talking about.
I know what he's talking about, dude. I mean, of course, like I say anything now. Like, what do you mean?
Not saying anything now, but I'm saying, do you see it happening? Because I feel like they really kind of are like, we'd be fine with trading to it like that. That's what it seems like the Dolphins' attitude is, because he didn't like make a really impact that you were expecting last season when he started.
I wasn't really expecting anything. Honestly. Yeah. But no, I think you're right, dude. I think they wouldn't really have a problem with trading him. I feel like I even heard talks of them doing that like prior, honestly.
Right. And I didn't understand. I mean, obviously then the allegations came out, so now I was a little nervous to trade for Watson, but I didn't understand before the draft. You have that high draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
You have Tua, like you can package that, but I guess the biggest sticking point was the Texans weren't interested in Tua. So I think they were like trying to make it seem like, oh, this is your value in the trade, but it's like we don't even want him.
Right.
So I think it's kind of tough, though, because I do think it's like Tua deserves better than this to kind of be doubted by a lot of people already. I mean, he had that crazy injury. It's only one season since then. I mean, a lot you got to think about here.
No, of course, especially like if you get traded, to Houston. I mean, at first they're passing you up, and now because of what happened with Watson, they're like, all right, I guess we'll take him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be kind of a sour feeling for him at that point, you know?
And how about how basically Tyrod Taylor most likely going to start as the starting quarterback for the Texans? Deshaun Watson, 4th. Rookie 3rd rounder Davis Mills from Stanford, 2nd on the depth chart. Watson 4th, obviously. But it's like the NFL hasn't put him on the list, so it's just I don't know how all that's going to work out legally.
Right. Has there been any updates as to his accusations?
Yeah, what's going on?
No, it's the same, like back and forth.
Right.
Like,
last I heard, he denies, but then more women come forward, and then it's like, how are you going to deny all that?
It's a constant cycle.
It really is, dude. It's kind of gross.
It's crazy because I feel like literally up till the moment that this story broke, Deshaun Watson was looked at as one of the best guys in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, he just seemed like a high character guy.
Yeah, exactly. Just in terms of his personality and his respect for.
And he was
people in
just like
general,
his top dog. One of the top
and we thought the Jets were going to get him.
Thank God.
Imagine comes to the Jets and then this thing breaks.
Yeah, imagine if we had done
Then we
that.
traded our pick.
We traded
And then Zach Wilson wins the Super Bowl with the Texans.
That would have been, I mean, that's like a Babe Ruth trade type of deal, I think.
Sure, yeah, dude.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay, Tony.
Can't mention Babe Ruth.
But little basketball here. League execs expect Ben Simmons to be moved.
Yeah.
And also,
He said
he said Well, technically he didn't say it. He just said he's not showing up for training camp. This is just one of those situations. It's like, I don't understand with that contract, as poorly as he played last season, how the Sixers are going to get a package that they like. I feel like his value couldn't have been lower since he came into the league as the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, no, it's tough. And we've talked about this before. I feel like he's, excuse me, being kind of overvalued. Thank you. We've seen him kind of struggle, I feel, at this point. And how do you expect to struggle and then ask for more money?
Right. And I don't know, and expect to dictate where you're going to play.
Right.
Say you're not going to show up for training camp. I know there's no obvious fit, but what's a prediction you got, Mike, for where he goes?
Knicks.
No. I'm not sure right now.
I mean, you can't float one thing out there.
How old is he? 30, 28?
Who are we talking about?
28? No, he's
39?
like 25 at most.
29?
25?
25?
20, isn't he like 24?
Wow, he's 25.
He's gonna go. He's gonna go to Sacramento.
Sacramento for Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they gonna give him, like 5 first rounders with him?
No.
Probably. No, but I mean, I just feel like Fox is so much better than Simmons.
But I feel like maybe he wants out too.
Fox?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but
Wouldn't you want to play with Joel?
I mean, that would be nuts. Daryl Morey wants to make a move. But I also think, he saw what happened with Harden, with that whole situation. Like, obviously, he was already gone at that point, but it's just like, and I think he wants to avoid that type of drama. So I guess they'll work something out. I just don't think they're going to get a big return. Aaron Gordon working on a contract extension with the Nuggets. I mean, I feel like he's solid, but in a way, don't you think he's kind of a disappointment just based on what we thought he was going to be coming into the league?
Yeah, he didn't even get as good as Blake.
No, not even close.
In Blake's prime.
And I feel like it was like, especially with the dunk contest, he had a lot of hype. It's just like, I don't know. Like, it's like when I think of the best players in the league, I mean, do I think of Aaron Gordon?
No.
Not even close. I mean, I swear to God, I know everyone thinks I'm kidding, but I really think like Bull, same amount of minutes, better production than Aaron Gordon.
Oh yeah,
I know Mike like that, dude.
I know the way you operate, Tony. You're definitely saying, no way that happens. Aaron Gordon's so much better. So can you just say it?
No way that happens. Bobo's trash. Aaron Gordon, way more productive.
Tell me you weren't gonna say that though.
No, yeah, I was thinking it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Was I gonna say it? I mean, you got it out of me, I guess.
And
He's good at that.
then Suns interested in Thaddeus Young. I mean, I think that would be a nice piece. I mean, he was pretty good last year. No?
Yeah. I like Thaddeus Young. I've liked him since
I think I've heard
Philly
his
days.
name a few times. Yeah, dude.
No, that was organic. I'm just saying, like, that was a good. Like, you understand the whole organic thing, and you really thought it was a joke when I first said it. I know you did.
No, I didn't really think it was a joke. I just think you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. How about Saints releasing Chris Hogan? This just came across on Sports.
The lacrosse player?
Former lacrosse player, former Jet, former Patriot. I don't know. I almost wouldn't mind it.
You look crazy.
Tony, are you okay?
My allergies, dude.
You know what, Mike,
He's going down.
You wouldn't want to bring back Hogan for a little depth for the Jets? I don't know. Like, you never know an injury. Like, I wouldn't mind
why
having
not?
a practice squad.
Yeah, or Tony, the one-eyed wonder.
Yeah, no, that would be nice.
Come on, dude. You were telling me last night your allergies, dude. You're scratching them. The fucking
allergies.
cats.
How about James Morgan waived by the Jets? He threw the last play of the game that tied the preseason game. He's the hero. They're chanting his name. He's walking off the field. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen this out of you, Tony. I really haven't.
It's almost like he's disappointed in you.
A little bit, honestly. And just because Tony can't continue here, one other thing. Just wanted to add here, 49ers released former Giants running back Wayne Gallman. I honestly would like to see the Jets pick him up. I'm not kidding. Depth piece. I think he's solid behind a good offensive line that the Jets will have this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Jets, I always say, are going to the Super Bowl. So
and
anything that Joe Douglas does, I'm with.
Before it's bloodline time, Tony, I think we need you to kind of wrap things up.
You go ahead.
Yep.
It's my turn.
I don't know.
You actually want me to wrap it up?
Yeah, close it out.
Yes.
All right, dude. Before we kind of get to our bloodline time, you guys have any closing remarks before we exit here?
No.
Go
No?
Yankees.
Well, hopefully we get 3 New York wins tonight.
Record.
For Sportsport here today. Whew. Take a deep breath, Tony. That'll do it for us here today. We'll be recapping everything we talked about here today tomorrow, mañana. And as Barnes likes to say, as Tony likes to say, you are our bloodline. Thank you for commenting, liking, subscribing, and we'll see you mañana. Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make